Hey guys, and welcome back for another tutorial. Today we will be making some planner charms and accessories. I will be making a pretty bow, a pen holder, and also page markers. So if you like what you see, then definitely stick around. More information and measurements will be located over at my blog, and all those links are in the description box below. And don't forget to follow me on my Instagram because I post pictures every day. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we are going to make are these very simple page markers. This is great so that you can find your expense pages or your calendar pages or whatever very quickly. So we're just going to make them out of paper clips and some ribbon. I am using grosgrain, which is the best because it is nice and stiff, so they will stick straight up very nicely. So all you're going to do is cut a piece about 5 to 6 inches and then place it through the paper clip like this, and then put the tails through the loop like this, and then pull it tight. Make sure that you're doing it at the top of the paper clip so that you still have the ability to slip the paper clip onto your papers. And once you've done that, then we're going to just cut some simple tails. And here is a really awesome trick to make sure you get perfect tails every time. So I'm just going to cut towards the fold like so, and voila, perfect. We're just going to do that again. And because it is ribbon, it's not going to stay nice and tight. So you're probably going to want to get some glue. So I'm just going to be using some fabric tack. You can use E6000 or hot glue or whatever you have on hand. I'm just going to put a little dab right there and it will hold it all in place. And because it is ribbon, it could end up fraying. So I'm just going to grab my lighter and I'm going to just singe off the edges just to make sure that those tails stay nice and sharp. So if you are young and doing this project, I would definitely ask an adult to help you out. And then that's it. So you just make a ton of them and you can mark all your pages. So the next one you're going to work on is the binder clip pen holders. So you're going to need some binder clips. These are 1 inch wide binder clips. And then we're going to use FOE. You can also use ribbon, but ribbon doesn't stretch. So if you have one pen that you always use, then you could use the ribbon. But if you have multiple pens of different girths, I guess you could say, then you can use the FOE. It does fray a little bit, so I'm just going to singe that off with my lighter. And then I'm going to use some glue, hot glue in this case, but you could use your E6000 or whatever glue you love to use. And we're just going to glue it onto both sides like so. And one awesome tip that I just learned: when you're getting close to the end of your glue stick but you can't stick the next one in, you can easily just glue it on and then keep going, and you don't even have to stop and think about it. So that's awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue it on, and you have to work pretty quick because it is metal. I think it's a little bit colder, so it kind of dries the hot glue a lot quicker. So this is where maybe E6000 would be better because you get a little more time to work with. Especially since the glue, because it's hot glue, it can, if it dries quickly, then it can be bumpy underneath your ribbon. But if you work fast enough, then you don't have to worry about that at all. And then that's it. So you can easily just place it on the side of your booklet or your day planner or whatever you have, just so that you can put your pen there. Like, let's say textbook, which would be awesome. It's not gonna hurt your textbook if you have to return it to your class or whatever. Perfect, and we're all done. So the next one we're going to work on is this very simple bow. It's just an accessory piece to make your stuff look a little cuter. And I'm just going to be using these keychains. The measurements for this bow will be located at my blog, which is charmedbyashley.com. So the first thing we're going to do is work on the center of the bow, and I just took a rectangular piece of fabric and I'm going to fold in either side as so, and then iron it. Once you've folded both sides in, you're going to fold one more time, and then you are going to sew down both sides. You're going to sew down the one side so that it stays together, and then sew down the other side as just a decorative top stitch, just so it matches the other side. And then we are going to work on the larger piece of fabric. We're going to fold that in half, and then we will sew down all three sides, but we will leave a gap here just for, and with the magic of video, I have already done that, and I'm going to just snip off the corners, so when I do flip the bow, the corners will be nice and sharp. So I'll quickly turn it. And then I will top stitch that hole closed right here, and then we can work on putting the bow together. So I'm just going to start hand sewing from this point, and I'm going to be folding the bow in an accordion style, but the top of the bow, I want the edges, the side edges of the bow to be on the bottom. So as you can see, I'm just trying to make it all nice and even, but this is the top and the edges are going to be on the bottom just so we don't see them. That would be the bottom. So I'm just going to take my needle and just stitch that in place. And then once I have a few stitches in that, then I will get the center of the bow and start working on wrapping that around. So now I'm just going to get my center of my bow, and I'm just going to measure how much I need. I'm going to put my keychain onto it like so. If you want to get an O-ring, you can definitely do that and add it later, but I'm just going to put it directly on. So I did have an excess of the center of the bow, but that's okay because it's such a small amount of fabric that I don't mind chopping it off just to make sure I have enough. So I just measured it out, and then I'm going to snip off the excess, and then I will fold in the raw edge and then sew it with a simple whip stitch all the way along that seam. So a whip stitch is just going through the fabric and around to the other side, and then around and around and around, just like this. Very simple, very easy. It's okay if I see it, it's on the back, I don't mind. And then I'm just going to tie it off, and then you're done. So you could put it on your planner, your backpack, your purse, whatever you like. This is definitely not a planner only accessory because bows are adorable. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Also, if you do any of these different projects, I would love to see them. So you can follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at charmedbyashley. All those links are in the description box below, as well as the link for my website, which is charmedbyashley.com, where I will post more photos and more information and measurements and links for the products used to make these. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!